Hey people, it's your girl Lolo, back with another one for you. Today, Sunday pot roast. Yes, what better way to do Sunday with a pot roast? Look at that piece of meat there. But we're just going to get into what we need for this pot roast, okay? We have some potatoes we're going to cut up. We also have green pepper and onion we're also going to cut up. Yes, we need this Worcestershire sauce and you'll see when, okay? We also have our house seasoning. Of course, I'll put the description in the box below. You know that, but it's great to cook with. I also have a can of cream of celery. I didn't have cream of chicken, but cream of celery works just as good. Okay, so we're gonna use that. I also have a can of the French onion soup mix, as well as a bouillon cube, a can of mushrooms, and garlic. Of course, you know I don't like to cook without it. I love my fresh garlic. Cook with it at all times. Now, let's get into making our Sunday pot roast here. People, so get a plate, a pan, whatever you use. Put some seasoning down in the bottom of it so we can begin to season our meat. You want to make sure that you season your meat on all sides. Get that seasoning in there, work it, rub it. Make sure this meat, again, is seasoned on all sides. This is a thick piece of beef, so you want to make sure that you're covering every area of this meat, okay? Cover it, cover it, cover it. Do not forget a portion of this meat being seasoned. Don't be afraid to season your meat. This is when salt and pepper will not do, okay? You need some seasoning. Yes, yes, yes. All around. Use it all. Believe me, it is going to taste amazing. Amazing. Okay, once our meat is seasoned on all sides, okay, we want to take a freezer bag and put the meat inside of the freezer bag, okay? Get a big enough freezer bag for this. Now, we are going to take that Worcestershire sauce and we're going to dump it all over the meat. And you don't need a lot, but a generous amount will do, okay? You're definitely going to need a generous amount. Now, we want to get all that air out of that bag, zip it up, and once that's done, we want to marinate this nice fine piece of beef, okay? Marinate it at least overnight, but if you can't, at least 2 to 3 hours, okay? Up to overnight, all right? Put it like that. Now, put it in your refrigerator, and we'll go from there. Okay, so after 4.5 hours in the fridge marinating, I took it out. So therefore, we can move on to our next step with our Sunday pot roast. So you take it out of the Ziploc, and we are going to take the pot roast, and we're going to start to cut slits in our meat. And what we're going to do after we cut slits in our meat, and we're going to actually do this on all sides of the meat, left, right, front, back, and we're going to take our garlic cloves that we smashed, and we're going to insert them into the slits of the roast beef, okay? This is going to give it great flavor. It doesn't come out garlicky, but the flavor, again, is amazing. So you get the idea. Again, like I said, top, bottom, side to side. Put slits all over. Use as much or as little garlic as you like. Hey, you can even skip this part and don't do this at all if you don't want the garlic, in the roast beef. That's fine. It's optional. This is what I like to do. This is how I like to cook my roast beef. Now into our hot frying pan with a little olive oil in it. We want to sear our meat, get it brown on all of the sides. Keep it on each side for a couple of minutes. Okay, again, we're not cooking it in this frying pan. We are just searing it to lock in all those beautiful flavors, okay? Again, try to get all the sides of the meat as possible before we put it in our pan and put it into the oven. That's right. Flip it, turn it, hold it, however you want to do it. But make sure we get all those sides, okay? from the frying pan into the baking pan. If you see here, I do have 2 pot roasts that I am cooking for Sunday dinner because I got a lot of people to feed, yeah. But the method is still the same if you're cooking 1 or 2. Now, that frying pan that we use to sear that beef, put a little beef broth or water in it and pull up those flavors off the bottom of that pan and use that as another layer of flavor for our pot roast. Okay, now on to layering our vegetables in the pan with our pot roast. Now you can use whatever vegetables that you want to use. It's fine. I'm using green peppers, carrots, potatoes, and onions. You can add celery, you can add red pepper, okay? You can add whatever vegetables that you want in your pot roast, okay? And there's no rhyme or reason to the way that you put them in there. Just get them all in there, okay? All right, on to the next step. So remember all the cans of flavor, I call them, that we have. We're going to mix that all together. That was the cream of celery, the French onion soup in the beef stock, as well as the can of mushrooms. Now, we're going to take that and we're going to mix that all together. Measuring cup, bowl, whatever it is you have. It's going to be pretty thick, okay? But we're going to thin that out a little bit. Now, remember that 1 beef bouillon cube that I had? I dissolved that down in 2 cups of water, boiling hot water. And I'm going to use that to thin out those beautiful sauces. We're going to take that and pour over our meat and vegetables. Again, adding another layer of flavor. We got a lot going on here, people. Look at this. This looks good already. So the rest of that liquid that's left from that dissolved beef bouillon cube, pour that in there as well. When you're done, you're going to stick that in your preheated 350-degree oven, cover that up with foil, and put it in for 3.5 hours. So let your meat rest for half an hour with the foil on. When you take the foil off, this is what we get. Nice juicy pot roast. That juice in the bottom of that pan, use that as your gravy, okay? Make it thicker if you like. Leave it the way it is. It's just fine. Look at the pieces of garlic. Beautiful. Hope you enjoyed watching. I enjoyed having you.